Hello everyone. So in the last section we took this and we made this into this, and in the last video I forgot, I missed the shadow. Let's add that quickly. um, Actually their shadow is a lot more faded, spreaded away, but I'm going to stick with this for now. I actually have, these are the shadows we have. Maybe we can work it later. So we have all these options. We can totally remove a shadow, or so this is the MD we gave. We use this double shadow, one for ambient and one for the actual shadow. Next one, as I said, we are not going to do dark now. Let's do this one now. This one is team section 2. So this time we start with a grid. The initial grid will be a 3-column grid, and then we separate this and we will introduce a new grid inside that with 2 columns with whatever space it has been given. Let's try that. D grid. And the next one is a bit grayer. Let's give some 25 text. How? This should be inside the same div. And this guy should be text 4XL with font weight 600. Too big for 600. Maybe for, let's just have 3XL. Let's pump the font weight a bit. And the next 2 grids, so we have this one grid, and the next 2 grids we have to mention the call span 2, and here we are. I'm going to create this as a new card. Let's just give some background color to see. Okay, so the class actually works. So this is the space we have created for this another grid system. We can actually create 3 grid system and try to use, here we are using 2. We are again going to use another grid system here. We can try and manage to use 1 grid system with 3 columns and do this stuff, but when it comes to responsiveness, when we want this part to go to the top, this structure will be helpful. And this is going to be grid calls too. So let's create a new card. And this card is just a square, a circular image followed by some stuff, some information, and I can see they are aligned. This is a flex box with item center. Let's do it. So this the whole thing is a flex box, and we have an image with border circle, and let's give 12 12. Actually 12 is too big. I think we have 8. 8 still is too big. We'll have 6. And also, okay, actually border circle did not work. Okay, maybe rounded circle. Okay, and we also like the previous, so I have seen like wherever we use a picture and image, where we have to use this, much more helpful. Saves the image from distortion. It is much more simple, even smaller. Okay, so we can reduce that to 4, 5. Okay, looks about the same for me. Okay, so they have given the primary color. Let's give some margin top, and let's make the item center. M2 looks too big. And also here, let's have some margin left. Okay, margin left 3. Okay, so looks okay to me. Maybe let's reduce the image size a bit. Okay. Name string and role string and picture. So the card still works. Let's use the card in the section. Okay, so the grid is working. We don't want the gray, and also let's have a gap 1. Call span gap 1. So it should be here, sorry. So I can see huge gap here. Let's increase that. Looks okay to me. Let's do it 1. And about the responsiveness, so it's not responsive now. So for the smaller screens, this grid columns is actually 1, and we will make it 3 when it gets small, the small breakpoint. Oh, actually we forgot to give any gap here. So even when it is like this, we don't have a gap, which is necessary. Gap 1. Or we can try to match this huge gap here. So that will, let's try the huge gap. Does this look proportional? Yeah, actually, if you can see, this is a 3 column and there is an inner 2 column, and the gap shares the space. So when we reduce it, it will become this. The spaces look okay to me. And should we reduce, should we change this? Maybe we'll do. So the inner grid by default, let's make it 1, and for extra small and above, let's make it 2, and let's retain the gap 2 there. At this point, actually, I'm seeing a lot more empty space than needed. I'm going to try giving some padding here in the sides. Maybe when the container comes in, it may start looking good. So this is to simulate the container, but even with the container, I'm looking a lot of empty space. What if we change back? How does it look? I think maybe we should reduce the gap in the smaller screen. This looks pretty much good to me. So there are mobile phones with 400 this, the width, so to respect these guys, we have to stick with one column for the very narrow ones for the mobile view. So we are going to go with this one. This looks okay to me at this size. So when it gets right before the extra small, so this at this point it looks a bit bad with a lot of empty space here, but this is what we're going with. So at any smaller size, the section is going to look okay. I'm going to get this one back. We don't want. I just wanted to see how it would look when the container is there. I think we have a redundant div here. We can delete this outer one. Maybe at this point I am planning to introduce, maybe we can make it 3 columns. When it gets too large, LG grid 3. Okay, so I like this one. So let's wrap this now. At this point, I'm okay with this section. So let's see in the next section.